So Sega recently announced their road to 2020, what their plan is for the next 3.5 years for existing franchises, new franchises, and they said they are going to spend some time reviving major IPs that they have in their catalog. So what do you think are some franchises that Sega should revive?
One off the top of my head, Altered Beast. Like
I knew that was coming.
I was going to say that one.
It has to. It just... I mean, it has a great premise to it. That just... You can work so many ideas off of that. Sega... I don't know. I think they can hit it out of the park. I mean, it's how can they not? It was one of the landmark games for Genesis.
How do you do that in today's world? What type of Altered Beast would Mo want to see?
I don't know. I could definitely see open world on Altered Beast.
So what is Altered Beast? If someone who doesn't know, and me, I'm not too
Back
familiar.
from like 1980.
Okay,
Which isn't Altered Beast a part of the Sega Genesis that you got from a special someone?
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. And I have been playing it too. I have it all hooked up and everything.
What?
Yeah.
So for my groomsmen gifts, I got them a Sega Genesis with 80 games. So 80 games a part of it.
How long did you wait in line?
I walked up to the counter.
They were readily available?
Do you have 4 Sega Genesis with 80 games? Here you go. Thank you. And walked out.
How many controllers does it come with?
Comes with 2 wireless controllers.
I was going to say, how long is the wire on the
Yeah,
cord?
no wire, wireless. Comes with 80 games. I think like 35 or 40 of them are actually Sega Genesis games.
Yeah,
I think like
there's,
35
entertainment kind of
actual,
stuff
and then
on there, but
other games.
Yeah, a couple of extras, but
But on that has Altered Beast. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. I'm a great man and found. And it was cheaper than the fucking NES Classic as well. How does that make sense? 2 controllers.
Because they know how to do business?
I might have to come over to play that Sega Genesis. I'm glad you have it hooked up and tried.
Yeah.
So Altered Beast, open world. So what is it? Is it a fighting game? Is it beat 'em up?
it is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. That's originally how it was proposed, and then you go around the stages, and it has to do with a little bit of Greek mythology as well.
Ooh, I
and,
love Greek mythology.
right? So,
You speak Greek, don't you?
it's going to now.
KOTOR.
Yeah,
There we go. Now he's ready.
And you beat up some enemies, and then they release these little balls of power, and you end up turning into either a bear or a wolf or
A dragon.
A dragon, and I forgot.
Yeah, so like
what
on the
the-
even number stages, you turn into the dragon, you
Yep.
stay in the upper left-hand corner, and you spam the lightning attack, and you go all the way through the...
Wasn't there a
level.
sequel? Or no?
I don't
Am I
know.
going crazy?
No, there wasn't.
No,
I think it's on there too, isn't it?
I thought Altered Beast 1 and
They
2
might
is on
have
there.
it
Yeah.
on there, actually.
Yeah. Way to pay attention to the gift.
No,
I
but
got
it
you.
used to be
did
the
it in the
pack-in
original.
game for the original Sega
Yeah.
Genesis.
So I mean, that's what it sold for. I mean, that was how can you to revive that? It would just be pretty exciting. I think they could do it, especially with the current way that Sega has been going now. Because I know that when they released this plan, when I was reading up on it, is that they were doing good with their sales, and of course, having their business partnerships, and how are they not going to do great? Because Persona 5 is one of their partnerships.
And it sold well. It did well.
Amazingly well, both
Yeah.
Japan and here. So, I mean, that right there represents good Sega catching on to like business ventures, getting all these other studios in and to help them create these games that you can reimagine. It's just...
Well, and that's kind of the best part, to go to the previous segment. They make partnerships with these other studios, but they facilitate them to continue their business. They don't absorb them and then break them apart so that they're not there to compete against them.
Yeah.
They get them, and they're like, okay, guess what? Persona 6, I want you guys working on that because 5 is awesome. They don't come in with like producer notes and start doing the, oh no. You know what? You guys need to get Asian kids out of there because nobody knows, the North America doesn't want Asian kids. So let's do Person 6.
does.
And yeah.
80 hours Persona 5
No,
and counting.
90 plus.
Nine-
Oh,
Almost
90
Almost
plus
100. I'm almost there.
Persona 5.
And still alternating games because I did buy Horizon, so I'm still going crazy. But
Son of a bitch. And Rich, what Sega games besides Altered Beast would you want?
I don't know. I was going to say, You know what? They were always good at doing racing and like
I know
combat
what
fighting
you're gonna
stuff,
say,
like
too.
Afterburner and stuff.
Okay.
They should bring in some more stuff like that.
What about Echo the Dolphin
They could.
I mean,
It's all right.
on the Switch?
What didn't they have Outrun?
Yeah,
Outrun.
Outrun. Yeah.
That would be a great one. I know that this has been thrown around because we haven't seen one in a long time from the arcades. Was Daytona, especially talking about racing games. So
What about Crazy Taxi?
I could see that too.
That was fun. I think that was Dreamcast as
Yeah,
well.
that
The
was
last
a
Imagine
Crazy
what you could
Taxi.
do now with all the cell shading and everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did Jet
it's
Set
just-
Radio.
That's
It's
one.
like-
Sega has an incredible catalog.
Yeah.
You know what IPs they want to go back. I love this one, Super Monkey Ball. I'm a huge fan of this. I want this on the Switch. Bust
They're
it
still
out on
putting
the
it out,
Switch.
aren't they?
Yeah, the last
It was
game
on
was
Wii, wasn't it?
last one was in 2014. But I want them to continue that IP. Because in the road to 2020, they did talk about they want to obtain new IPs, expand their existing IPs as well. But again, the one that gets us more excited, revival of major IPs. They know they have that great catalog. One that I want is House of the Dead in VR.
That would be awesome.
I'm a big fan of House of the Dead. I think that will work perfectly in VR. They sort of have a House of the Dead, which is the roller coaster shooting game. I don't know why. Dawn of the Dead. I don't know why I can't even remember it though. It's one of my favorite VR games.
Oh, the Until Dawn thing.
Until Dawn.
Yeah.
God damn it. Thank you.
I was like, where's he going
Yeah.
with this?
Dawn something. Until Dawn. Russia Blood is the there
Don't
you
say
go. Russia
Dawn
Blood.
in Russia. It's not
Yeah.
good right there.
Yeah.
But
I might give out some confidential information. I don't want to.
It's
Watch
okay.
out for that.
It's your prerogative.
Oh, okay.
You are hosting the show. So you're switching your purview.
I determine if it's confidential and not if it's important.
We'll have Zeus leave the room in case, and then you can talk to Mo about it. Privately. Just remember to write a memo.
Did any of you play Panzer Dragoon?
Yeah.
I did, and that is another one. There's one game that escapes me, which was on Yakuza. Space Harrier? Was that the
Oh
one?
yeah.
That would be another one, which would be good for over-the-shoulder shoot 'em up, if they do it correctly. You know, I don't know. Sega has endless possibilities, and trying to acquire new IPs. That's saying, I mean, Sega's doing something good.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that they don't have to make it just for the current gen consoles. Imagine if you had something like 1942, because they used to do all those kind
I
of things.
love the
But
1940s.
That's a
mobile,
great
put
game.
put that on mobile.
Incredible. Oh, yeah.
If you were on break or lunch or whatever, or sit on the John, and you could play like 2 levels of that, and then go back to work. Oh, that'd be fucking perfect. And
I wouldn't go back to work. I would just.
No, but
you know,
just keep
and
playing.
you charge $3 to $5 for that thing, and the whole game's unlocked, and you don't need microtransactions and money hand over fist. Are you gonna? Could you make more if you found a way to microtransaction? Yes, but you're also pushing away people. Just take what you can get. You don't have to be so damn greedy.
There's one IP that I always forget that Sega is a part of, and it's PC only, and it's their partnership with Workshop, which is Dawn of War, the Warhammer series. Now it doesn't get talked a lot because it's on PC only, but that's a great RTS game. To bring those over to consoles for the people who are whatever, for some reason that they don't want to play on PC, that would be a great transition for Sega to do as well.
Yeah.
It's
hard with the controls done.
Yeah, it is.
Halo Wars is a good example of you can do it, but it's a lot of people were turned
True.
off by how it worked.
True, but I'm just saying if for some odd reason if they want to do it.
No, but nerds like us know how to make hotkeys and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And I got like 6 squad setups, and now I'm shift 5 and 6.
It's the numbers,
these
man.
Two
It's the
regiments
numbers.
Over, and she's just like, I don't want to.
Yeah, Steve is like, we're.
No.
Did you update your video driver yet, Steven? I don't think so. So you can't play the latest DLC on that. No expansion for you, sir.
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about the last minute and a half. I was just nodding.
Streets of Rage.
He
Function
usually does
keys.
that when I talk.
But
Yeah,
I
it's none.
we did have a discussion about
Streets of Rage is
Streets
on
of Rage,
the
yeah.
Sega Genesis.
So I mean that
I think that's the one that had the sequel as well. Streets of Rage.
it had
1, 2.
three games.
Yeah.
So I mean, coming up with this stuff now is just they have these studios that sided with them. I mean, get them to work, and then keep making great games, because that's what Sega's been putting out for right now. They're not, it's not putting out like a crazy amount of games every year, but their span right now is like probably 2 to 3 years, and then they release a game.
Yeah.
So I can see them, venturing further into this market.
And Sonic Forces,
Yep.
that'll be coming out again. We'll see probably more at E3.
Oh, they announced today. There's 3 characters. There's classic Sonic, new Sonic, and then you make your own.
Yeah,
And there's going to have like 9 character classes, and each one has a different like special power, but it's going to carry over whatever augmentations you make to them. So you put like a different set of gloves on them, and then you give them sunglasses and stuff like that. That's all going to be in the cutscenes.
Nice.
I mean, that's how it's done. And as long as they don't charge you for like, oh well, I got to get that whole surfboard pack or whatever. That's a good idea.
Let's just hope that they polish it to
Yeah.
the T, because unpolished can lead to like terrible,
Especially for Sonic.
Yeah,
No, but
terrible Sonic.
when they announced that today, they were showing a little bit more
I did-
footage.
I
It
did
wasn't
see
just
that.
that over-the-shoulder running. That's the new.
Yeah.
They were doing
Like the
side-scrolling kind of
side-scrolling,
stuff
yeah.
that had like the slightly altered isometric, so it was not quite 2D, but it was pretty much left to right movement.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah,
Makes sense to our brains.
a lot of potential. So
Next 3 years is the road to 2020. What they want to do for the next 3.5 years.
I can just cheer them on. So I can.
You do love your Sega.
I do love Sega.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna say want to release a new console, new Sega console.
No.
Do you think they're ever gonna come back in the console
With-
business?
No, I don't think so. I think Sega is right now. From their report, they said that they want to release for all consoles. They're not going to exclude any single one, which is smart on their.
Are you taking notes, Nintendo? This might be your future in 5 years.
And it's smart. I mean, that gets some revenue, and nobody feels left out. And they're say, "Hey, I can come up to Rich and be like, did you play that game?" And he'll be like, "Yeah." And we're on 2 different consoles.
Yep.
It's smart. Sega's doing smart moves right now. Keep it going. Don't even. I can't see them having the possibility of thinking of let me release a console right now. No, just stick to what's out there. They're doing good. Just keep on that road, that train.
Yeah.
Choo choo, motherfuckers.
Ride that gravy train on those games. I know the Dreamcast was their last game console. Even though it was a great console, it just didn't catch on. I know we've talked about it on previous episodes about the sad ending of Sega consoles. But again, this was a great move. Get out of the console business. Let's make games for all systems. And again, the success that they're having, stay away. And then again, they have that catalog that they built when they had those consoles.
Yeah.
They can bring those back. And it looks very bright for Sega.
It does. I had like, for some reason, I was kind of skeptical when I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, Sega released that press news where they were saying that they were restructuring, and I could see where they're heading now.
No, we were
Like,
worried that Bandai was gonna
yeah, that was
buy
just
them out.
gonna
Yeah.
take over every IP, but they stay strong, so good on them.
So those are the games that we would want Sega to revive from their catalog. Please let us know in the comments below what franchises you want brought back from Sega.